Starting that recording. So our class today is all about practicing back bends. And I think a lot of vinyasa flows really emphasize like flexibility in the back. And for those of you who have been coming every week this summer, I'm sure by now you've kind of picked up on the fact that in LYT we don't really use, we don't bend, especially at the lumbar spine, much at all. So today we're going to kind of take this whole class. It's going to be a peak pose format. So that means we work on the muscles and the skills that we need to get to this final pose in whatever form it is today for you. It doesn't have to be, you know, an Instagram photo, but we're going to take some time to think about and consider all of the elements that go into a safe back bend. And a back bend can be as small and as restrained as almost like a lift of the chest up. That's considered a back bend. So as I said, there's no picture or image that we're going for today. It's about sensation. It's about moving from strength and finding length from strength. So don't be intimidated by the use of the word back bend, or, you know, when we get to trying out wheel, if you're not feeling it, you take back bends as they kind of come into your body. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing or what anyone else is doing. So I'm going to start some music. As I said, I'll be cueing from near the computer for this first bit and do less demonstrating, and then I'll move to my mat as well. So you can go ahead and lay on your back and bring the feet on the mat. Your knees will be pointing up to the ceiling. You're just resting all the way down in that position. Feeling the skull on the mat, as well as the, back of the pelvis and the back of the rib cage. And then heel toe the feet out so they're as wide as the mat, and let the knees fall into each other. You might feel that kind of lengthens the lumbar spine even more here. Sometimes you get some nice release in the back of the pelvis. And then bring the arms wide out from the shoulders. And I want you to work with your imagery here. Imagine somebody was just gently giving some energy, maybe doing like a swiping motion all the way across from this chest, across the shoulder, and down and out across the arm. So really imagining that chest opening here. And then you can open up the left hip by letting the left knee drop over to the left side, and you'll press through the right foot, letting the right pelvis come off the mat and squeeze that glute. So as we take this into a bit of a controlled twist, you might feel that opening of the chest start to radiate down through this lower rib cage region, more into the side body. Even though we call it a back bend, we do need opening in the sides to get towards that position. So we'll work with that today. And then keeping that same energy and length through the arms, the knees can come back to center and open up the opposite knee. Press through the opposite foot, letting the one half of that pelvis come off the mat for this supine twist. Check in with your chin if it's trying to jut up towards the sky or the ceiling. Just try to lengthen the back of the neck, and that will probably draw the chin down a bit. And then bring the knees back to center so they can fall in towards each other again. And then heel toe the feet so they're in line with the hips. So the feet will be parallel, knees will be parallel. We'll come into our low bridge here. So exhale, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, squeeze those glutes, and lift off the mat. Not really working towards back bend here. We're not trying to curve the spine at all, but rather keep it long and in line, and feel the glutes start to fire up. I'm gonna lock our Zoom room now, and I'm hopping onto my mat. If you get lost, you watch me. So you're in your bridge, your pelvis is lifted. If this is enough for you, stay there. If you wanna try something new, you can bring the right top of the foot onto the mat. So you would flip the right foot, maybe the toes come onto the mat. If you have a lot of flexibility in the ankle, you might be able to grab it with the right foot and tuck it back a little farther. But two huge things here. I don't want the pelvis to dip to make this happen. And I also don't want the right knee to feel under pressure. Be mindful of what's going on, in the pelvis, but also in the knee. And only go as far as you can without aggravating these areas. It might feel super intense. If it does, take an exhale out of the mouth. Sometimes that can really pressure. And then flip the right foot back on the mat, and we'll do it on the other side. So first, check in with that pelvis, keep both sides even, and flip those left toes to whatever degree. Maybe you grab the toes and pull them towards you a little bit more. But we're keeping that length in the low back, keeping the pelvis neutral. Just stretching out this front chain that we're going to be really needing to be open if we're doing some back bends. And we do that by cultivating strength in our back body and calling on our muscles to fire. You can flip that foot back so you're flat back in your bridge. We'll keep the pelvis up, press the palms up to the ceiling, and pull back on the right fingers with the left hand, opening up that forearm. And then switch hands, pressing the left palm up to the ceiling, pulling back with the right hand. Curl that tailbone maybe an inch further towards the heels. And then let the hands fall back to the mat, and we'll lower through the spine. Curling slowly until the back of the pelvis is on the mat. Give those legs a jiggle here. Just release. And then interlace the fingers behind the skull. Elbows will come up to the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift off the mat. Draw down in the rib cage. If you want a little extra, extend the left leg, but keep the thighs parallel. So the left leg's on this diagonal. Nothing else moves. Lower that foot and inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Draw down in this deep abdominal area, like, I hate the image, but like you had a corset. It's really like locks you in. And then we'll extend the right leg, but keep the thighs parallel here. And when I say corset, it's a sensation. It's not I don't want you to think you should look like a corset. That's stupid. And then lower that foot. Inhale, head and shoulders lower. Adding on a little. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Left leg extends here. And add a twist to the left, but let that come from the rib cage. So don't move the elbows. Really move through the center of the body. And then maybe grip the right toes on the mat like you were pulling up sand with your foot. Come back to center, foot lowers. Inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Right leg extends this time. Really coming from the core, twist to the right. And then maybe grip those left toes on the mat. You'll feel that pull deeper into your low abdominals. Right leg lowers, inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Last add-on here. Left leg extends. Add your twist to the left. Grip those right toes. And not moving anything. Maybe you hover the right foot just an inch off the mat. Really intense. Both feet lower. Inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Twist to the right. Right leg extends. Grip those left toes. And then really keep the sacrum glued down when we cover the left foot. Everything lowers. Inhale. And let the arms come wide again. And then just slowly, we're gonna press up and come onto our elbows. So it's kind of like you're lounging in the grass or something. And then you can bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage and give energy towards center. So even though we've changed orientation with the torso, still think about the same alignment as if you were laying on the ground, bringing length in the spine. So two options here. One can be you kind of float, extending one leg and then the other, and the opposite toe is touching the floor. Other option is to fully extend and scissor the legs. And I want you to be honest with yourself about what allows you to keep the spine long. If you feel yourself curving, just dial it back. There's nothing wrong with doing a different version of a movement. It's whatever you get most out of that is the best for you. You can either be doing leg extension or the leg scissors. Continuing to pull the rib cage towards center. Just a couple more here. And then lower both feet to the mat, and we'll press off the elbows and come around onto hands and knees for table or quadruped. So wrists are under shoulders here, knees are under hips. Try to lift the back of the skull so it's in line with the rest of the spine. And then imagine you could squeeze your sits bones together. So that would be the area where you sit on the ground. Then extend the left leg long behind you. Using the left glute, lift that leg. And then bend the left knee, foot's moving up towards the ceiling. And we add some pulses here. So like you could push up to the ceiling and back to neutral. So this is probably a small movement because we don't want to start dipping into the low back. We want to keep all of that core contained. Everything we just worked for, we're using here. So it's small, but you'll start to feel it pretty quickly. And even this, in a sense, is almost a back bend. There's some extension there. And then we'll lower the left knee. Find your length again through the back of the head. Draw the low abdominals into the spine. And extend the right leg behind you. Using the right glute, lift the leg and then bend the right knee. Adding these small pulses up to this line. Even though focus here is on the right glute, so bring some energy into the left glute because it's going to stabilize that hip. This is where I would be watching you saying, great job, guys. So I'm sure you look great, even though I can't see you. And then we'll lower the right knee to the mat. Heading to dolphin, lower both forearms. Option here to interlace the fingers, whatever feels good for you. And then tuck the toes and lift the pelvis up. Knees can be bent, heels can be off the floor. And feel the energy driving up into the pelvis here. We'll lift the left leg, three-legged dolphin. Pelvis stays aligned. And then bend the left knee, open up the hip like we did in that twist, external rotation. And then come back to neutral, and then externally rotate. Left knee goes out to the left. Don't let the pelvis move. Back to neutral, one more time. Left knee to left. And back to neutral, lower the left foot. We'll switch to the right. Right leg lifts, pelvis is aligned. Right knee bends. Externally rotate, right knee to right. Feel that glute working. Neutral. External rotation. Back to neutral. Rotate. Back to neutral. and then lower the right foot. We're heading to the top of the mat. You can come through your knees or press through the palms and walk the feet forward. When you get to the top, bend into the knees. Let the hips move back in space. And inhale, we'll rise, finding our length. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, keep length in the spine. And step the right foot back. Lower the knee and the top of the foot for our half kneel. Inhale, lift. Right glute is squeezing. And then bring the elbows in line with the shoulders for goalpost or cactus. Remembering that feeling of opening the chest we started with. Palms come to the mat, step back for plank. Glutes turn on here, shoulder blades on the back. Lower the knees and keep that chest open as you lower to the floor. Inhale, pull the hands back for cobra. Our first baby back bend here. Exhale, lift into down dog. Right foot steps forward, lower the left knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise, half kneel. Left glute turns on, and exhale, we goalpost the arms. And feel, imagine those shoulder blades coming onto the back, right next to the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot in, bend knee forward, fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, lower that knee, the top of the foot. Inhale, rise, half kneel. This time bring those hands behind the pelvis, interlace them but keep the elbows bent. And feel the shoulder blades draw closer to the spine, opening the chest more. You'll feel this in the front hip too. Plant the hands in front of the foot, step back for plank. Glutes on. Exhale, lower the knees, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Reach that pubic bone into the mat. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, top of the foot. Inhale, half kneel. Right glute turns on, interlace those hands behind the pelvis. Now those shoulder blades are moving towards each other, but keep the rib cage squeezed, like in our beach abs. Or don't really have a name. Exhale, hands plant in front of the foot, step forward, bent knee forward, fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Right foot steps back, lower that knee, lower the top of the foot. Inhale, rise, half kneel. And then imagine you had two blocks on either side of your hips, and we'll press energy down into those blocks. So I want you to feel your upper back working here. Really imagine you were like pushing into some squishy substance. And feel that through that push, you can actually find more length in your core, in your center. Own that length, own that strength. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands in front of the foot. Keep the left leg back, three-legged down dog. Pelvis is even here. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward, one-legged plank. Glutes are so on here. Inhale, return, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift it forward, one-legged plank. You can also lower the foot if that's too much. Inhale, return, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift it forward, one-legged. Pause. And we'll lower all the way to the floor. You can keep the leg lifted or lower. Now bend this left knee like we did in our table or our quadruped, and get a slight sense of cobra through the chest. So imagine someone was pulling your chest forward. Tap the left glute, turn it on. And here we go, we're pulsing up to the ceiling. It's gonna immediately feel really, really intense, but I don't want you to rock into the low belly or into that low back. So I want you to feel the front of the left pelvis pressing into the mat as that glute works. This is a huge hip extension here. We're really reminded that the glute is the motor for that. I hope you feel it, because I definitely do. One more, pulsing up, lower the left toes, lift to down dog, and then lift it into left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Bend the knee and open the knee to the left for that external rotation. It's a little bit of a different sensation. Inhale here, draw the rib cage into the back. Exhale, step the left foot forward, turn to the right, toes turn as well. Side lunge, bend into the right knee and hip. If you'd like, you can plant the left hand under the shoulder and add a bit of a twist, opening to the right side. If having that hand on the mat is compromising your back, you can just elevate it. And we'll bend over into the left knee and hip, right hand plants, or stays lifted. Adding a twist. One more to the left. Adding your twist, open to the right. Really use that center for the twist. Don't try to force it with the arm. And back to the left. Twisting, really feeling the left femur in the hip socket, moving back in space. And then we'll walk all the way to the back of the mat, starting the other side. Both feet turn to the back, lower the left knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise for that half kneel. Might feel a little longer this time. We sweep the hands down, remembering those fake blocks that we might press our fingers into and help us organize more in our pelvis and then lift out from here. It's like this is one of those moments that I'm reminded of the power of the mind. Like nothing's here, but I really feel the difference. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the hands in front of the foot. Tuck the left toes. Right foot sweeps back, three-legged down dog. Press evenly into both hands. Really make it active here. Inhale. And exhale, we'll shift forward, squeeze the glutes, one-legged plank. Shoulder blades draw on the back. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, one-legged plank. Left glute is kind of your main worker here. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Almost there, shift it forward, exhale, plank. Just one more. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift it forward. Lower to the floor. You can either lower the foot or keep it lifted as you lower. Right leg lifts here. Now root that pubic bone into the mat. Turn the right glute on. And we pulse. Right foot up towards the ceiling. But lots of control in this central core area. And we bend this leg because it stops the hamstring from taking over. We can concentrate on the glute, which for a back bend is super important. Two more. Lower those right toes, lift into down dog. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip to the right. Keep that left pelvis strong and contained. Exhale, step the right foot forward, turn to the left. Side lunge to the left here. Option to add that twist. And over to the right. Maybe twisting open that right arm to the left and to the right. We'll do 2 more this time. Try not to let anything get into the low back, so really keep that low back almost puffed up to the ceiling. Sometimes that's how it feels. Switch sides, bending into the right knee and hip. And then we'll walk all the way to the top of the mat, plant those hands, right foot steps forward, bend the knee and hip. Find that length in your spine. Inhale, lift, Tadasana. Heading into some sun cells here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Step back for plank. Glutes are on. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. You can walk those feet in a little bit, maybe 4 inches. Inhale, rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop forward. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Step it back for plank. Lower the knees or lower halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Freeze the glutes. Exhale, down dog. Walk those feet in a bit. Take a big inhale, rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop forward. And inhale, long spine, lift it up, Tadasana. 1 more here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Step back for plank. Lower those knees, lower all the way to the floor, or take lower halfway and inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. You can walk those feet in again. We'll pause here, take a big inhale through the mouth. Exhale it out through the mouth. Now inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Great. So we're gonna do some shoulder work for a moment. On an inhale, imagining we're shrugging, saying, I don't know. We'll draw those shoulder blades on the back so they come up towards the ears. And exhale, return to neutral. Inhale, shrug it up. Exhale, return to neutral. Inhale, shrug it up. Exhale, return to neutral. Pause. We'll lift that left leg, 3-legged down dog. And now we'll practice what are called skimmers. So if you want to take a second to watch, you can. I'm also going to say it as I do it. We bend the right leg, and keeping the left leg exactly where it is, we shift the weight forward and scooch the right foot forward, and then return to our normal position. So we skim the right foot on the mat, and skim it back. We just move between these two. We won't do too many. Just waking up this front body. Front and back. 1 more, front and back. Pause. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Lift the torso, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, elbows to shoulders, goal post. You can bend the right knee. We'll take a bit of a bend in both knees here. Inhale, start to try extending this right leg a little bit, but keep the right pelvis where it is. So we bend this back knee and extend, and bend and extend. 1 more, we bend and extend. Right hand comes to left thigh, shift the weight forward. Right leg lifts. We're in a bent knee airplane. This left arm can fly behind you or be at the hip. If you want a little extra here, you can lengthen the torso, bend the right knee, When we've done this many times, you can pulse that foot up towards the ceiling. And if that's too much, if you feel like you're getting in your low back, don't do it. If you're pulsing, we'll do just 2 more. We'll all lower the right toes, round that heel over to the left, open up for warrior 2. Arms extend long. Inhale, exhale, you know it's coming, reverse your warrior. Left arm overhead. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior variation. Feeling that side body lengthen. Rise through center. We're turning to the back of the mat. So turn the left toes towards the side. Open the right toes to the back of the mat. And then come into warrior 1. So you probably need to scoot the left foot out to the left and in a bit. Check in with your pelvis. Inhale, arms lift. And then bring the right hand behind the pelvis. Reach up with the left and side bend here. Side bend over to the right. Left glute super on. Inhale, rise. Right arm lifts. Exhale, shift the weight forward, plant the hands. We're heading to dolphin. You can step the right foot back and then lower the forearms. Interlace those fingers if you need. Lift that right leg. Bend the knee. Open up the hip, external rotation. If you want something extra, you can lower and lift the left heel. But keep everything else the same. Just 2 more breaths. You've got the right leg bent. Straighten it in neutral position. We'll all walk the feet back, come into forearm plank. Just briefly, turn those glutes on, and then lower all the way to the floor. Arms come wide in a goalpost. Root that pubic bone down, glutes are on. Inhale, lift up this goalpost and chest. You feel the shoulder blades drawing towards each other. Like you were lifting out of the water as a seal or some type of dolphin, I don't know. And then exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift into down dog. You can walk those feet in. Let's all make some noise. Take an inhale. Exhale, make some sound. Let all your frustrations out. Inhale. You're at home, so nobody even knows. Exhale, let it out. Great. Heading into those shrugs again here. Inhale, pressing into the floor. Shoulder blades move on the back towards the ears. Exhale, release. Inhale, shoulder blades draw towards the ears. Keep the ribs in. Exhale, release. Shoulder blades towards the ears. Exhale, release. Last time. Lift them up. Exhale, release. Heading to those skimmers. Right leg lifts, 3-legged down dog. Keeping right leg where it is, bend the left knee. Add a little hop and skim the left foot forward and skim it back. Maybe today you only go 6 inches. Doesn't matter. It's about your experience, it's about your energy. It doesn't need to look like anything. It's about sensation. So shifting forward and back. One more time, forward, back. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Rise for our crescent lunge. Bending the left knee as needed. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, goal post. Feeling that openness in the chest. Inhale. Exhale, bend the back knee. And extend it a little bit. Don't let the pelvis move. Bend that knee. Slightly extend. Bend left knee. Extend. Bend it. And extend. This time we shift the weight forward. Left hand comes to right thigh. Bent knee airplane, that left leg lifts. Maybe you want to try bending left knee, adding a pulse. Extending the hip, using that glute. Super hard in this position, but you got it. I'm shaking a little, if you're shaking, we're in it together. We'll all lower the left toes to the mat. Ground the left heel, open up to the side, warrior two. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior variation, right forearm on the right thigh. Press through the outer edge of that left foot. Inhale through center. Heading to warrior one, facing the front of the mat. Right toes turn to the side, left toes turn to the front, and then step the right foot out to the right and in a bit. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, left hand comes to the back of the pelvis. Right glute super on. Reach that right arm up and side bend over to the left. Feeling that radiate through the front of that hip. Checking on the back of the neck, make sure you've got length. Inhale, we'll lift both arms up. Heading to dolphin. Exhale, hands plant on the mat. You can step back through down dog. Lower the forearms. And then the left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee. Externally rotate, left knee out to the left. Maybe you add a lower and lift of the right heel. No pressure. Do whatever feels good. Two more breaths. And then we walk the feet back, forearm plank. Getting that respect going. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Arms come to goalpost. Pubic bone roots down, glutes are on. Inhale, whole shape of the chest, the upper body lifts. Keep that length in the low back. Exhale, plant the hands, lift into down dog. Walk those feet in. Take some wiggles here, do whatever you want. Maybe hips move side to side, you can tread through the feet. We'll come to stillness, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop forward. And inhale, rise. Hands come to heart center, take a second, close the eyes. Inhale. Exhale. And then let's all just shake it out, like break form here. Do whatever you need. Get some energy going. We're gonna put those two sequences together. There are a couple changes. I'm gonna towel my face off because I'm so sweaty. Feel free to get a drink or take a second if you need to do anything. Give yourself a high five for all the work you've done. Normally you'd be doing that to your fellow yogis, but we're doing our best, right? Okay. Just making sure I tell you everything properly. All right, I think we're good. We'll meet at the top of the mat when you're ready. Letting Aretha carry us through here. Inhale, arms lift forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Right foot steps back, lower that knee, top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, arms come to goalposts. Now draw those shoulder blades on the back. Imagine you were leaning into those and start a little bit of a back bend. Really anchor the right glute, the tail down towards the floor. Feel how much strength this takes to be lifted and extended. Here we go. Exhale, plant the hands. Left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Inhale, shift it forward to plank or one-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged down dog, left leg lifts. Inhale, shift it forward. Lift it back up, three-legged. Last time here, shift it forward. Two options. We're either coming to side plank, shifting onto the right edge of the foot, stacking left on top, or you can slide left foot behind for dancer's table. Reaching left arm overhead. Either way, glutes are keeping that pelvis lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll all step the left foot forward, turn to the right, side lunge. Into that right knee and hip. Maybe add your twist. And then get fluid with it. So take this in your own time. Do it as slowly or quickly as you like. Just really feeling the like stretch of that inner groin area and the flex of the hips. We'll pause, bending into right knee and hip. Turn to the back of the mat. Left knee lowers for half kneel. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, press into those blocks. Have that memory of how much lift that gave you. Exhale, plant the hands, right leg sweeps up, three-legged down dog. Bend that knee. Open up the hip, right knee to the right. External rotation. Inhale here. Return to neutral with the hip. Exhale, step the right foot forward. We're heading straight to airplane. Left leg lifts. Press into that right leg. Work that glute and lift that torso. You can be on any diagonal here. It doesn't need to be perfectly parallel to the floor. Option for a little play in dancer's pose. You don't have to take this. If you don't want to, you can head to crescent. You want to try it out. You'll bend the left knee. Keeping this pelvis even, reach back with the left hand for that foot and press into the floor. Ooh, sorry, I got too animated. Press into the floor with the right leg. Use that press to lift and extend the right knee. Press the left foot into the left hand. But keep these pelvic points even. One more breath, inhale. Wherever you are, we'll all tuck the left knee behind the right foot, lower to the floor for seated twist. You can extend the left leg in front of you if that feels better on the hips. Right hand plants, side bend over to the right. Feel the lift into the left side body. Inhale. Exhale, other side. Left hand plants. Lift into the right side body. And then here we go. Turning to the left, unwind all the way to the front of the mat. Warrior two. Bend into that left leg. Open it up, rise for your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse. Inhale through center. Warrior variation. Continuing to follow the right arm down to the floor. Right knee lowers. Modified side plank. Sweep the left leg back. You can lift it off the floor. Final option here, bend the left knee. Maybe grab the left foot with the left hand. Feeling that stretch in the front of the hip. If you want, you can flip this to table, lowering the left foot behind you Turning onto the right foot, squeeze the glutes and reach the left arm overhead. No pressure there, you can stick with that modified side plank. We'll all slightly lower the hips if you're in table, turn to down dog. All meeting in down dog here. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then walk forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise. We've got one more side. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift, half kneel. Exhale, goalpost, elbows in line with the shoulders. And then lean into the scapula, the shoulder blades. Feel some extension in that upper back. Keep the left glute on. Exhale, hands plant, right leg sweeps, three-legged down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, shift it forward, plank or one-legged plank. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift it forward, one-legged plank, three-legged down dog. Shift it forward, last time here. Heading to side plank on the left side, or you can tuck the right toes behind you, lift the pelvis, reach the right arm for dancer's table. Whatever version feels good. Exhale, step the right foot forward, turn to the left, side lunge here. Take it with a twist or keep the hands down. Just as we're starting to kind of come towards the end where we'll practice our bridge, listen to what your body wants. Being really rigid or fluid, whatever. We'll all turn to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise, half kneel. Exhale, press into those imaginary blocks here. Finding more length in the spine. Feeling how open this front chain feels. And exhale, plant the hands, lift into three-legged down dog, left leg sweeps. Inhale here, bend that left knee, open up the left hip. Left knee to the left side. Return to neutral, exhale, step the foot forward. Press into that left leg. Rise for airplane. Right leg lifts. Surging the hands back. Now you can stay here, you can come to a crescent and feel the opening in the front of the hip, or you can try a dancer's pose by bending the right knee, grabbing the inside of the right foot, and then pressing into the floor, rooting down to rise up, keeping the pelvis even, trying to keep this from entering the low back. One more breath. Exhale, lower right knee behind the left heel, seated twist. Option to extend this bottom leg. Left hand plants bend to the left side. Right hand plants flexing to the right. Coming back to vertical, turning to the right, unwind to the front of the mat. Warrior two on that right leg. Bending right knee. Standing tall. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse. Right arm over ear. Inhale from center. Exhale, warrior variation. Right forearm to right thigh. Continue following the left hand, bring it down to the mat under the shoulders. Modified side plank, left knee lowers, right leg shoots back. You can either extend the right arm overhead, try lifting right leg. And again, you can try grabbing the right foot with the right hand and pressing that right half of the pelvis forward, opening the front of the hip. If you want, you can also lower the right foot behind you, extending for a table with that right arm reaching back. Glutes are, of course, on here. We're heading to down dog. If you're in table, you can slightly lower the hips, turn to the mat, come into your down dog. Everybody take a big inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then lower those knees. We'll sweep the shins to one side and sit back. Coming onto our back here. We'll try just a couple back bend options. After all of that work, we're finally ready to try this out. So, option one, we're in our bridge again. So you can extend the tailbone towards your heels, squeeze the glutes and lift, and just feel the rib cage pulling out of the pelvis. If you want to stay here, that's amazing. Option two, you start the same way. You come through a bridge. If you want to try the full wheel, you'll flip the fingers so that they're pointing towards the shoulders and bring the palms behind the shoulders here. Continue squeezing those glutes. Of course, if you're confused, just watch. And then pressing into hands and feet, you can either come to the top of the head, briefly in between, and then press up, or you can press straight. So I'm going to go straight. I've got my glutes on. Inhale, exhale, push, coming into bridge. Keep a bend in the knees and lengthen that tailbone. So don't let the lumbar spine curl. Really keeping length there. Don't stay for too long. When you're ready, you'll just slowly lower in the reverse of what you did. So you just bend the elbows, come to the back of the head, lower all the way down, and take a moment to not do anything. Let yourself settle. Big inhale. And exhale. We'll do just one more opportunity. If you're done, if you don't want to try again, you don't have to. You can make any moves that your body's calling for. If you want to try another version, of course, option one is our low bridge. Feeling the power of the pelvis there. Option two, bringing the palms next to the ears, flipping the fingers towards the shoulder, pushing into the feet and hands here. Inhale, exhale, press to your wheel. Don't do anything that you think is dangerous or might injure you. If you're unsure, be cautious. And whatever you've got going on, slowly, 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 lower back to the floor, letting the spine lower sequentially. And then pause for a moment before you move again. Let the spine recalibrate. And then just you can extend one leg up and then the other towards the ceiling. You can be slightly bent here. And just imagine your muscle, your legs falling into the socket. Feel the weight in the pelvis. Coming back to your breath. We'll move to happy baby. You can open the legs just slightly and bring the hands to the inner borders of the feet, bending the knees, and continuing to feel the weight in that pelvis. So try not to tip up But really feel lengthened spine there. Energy pressing from the feet into the hands and from the hands into the feet. Draw the chin towards the throat. Exhale through the mouth. And then let the feet go. You can bring the knees towards the chest. Lower one foot and then the other. We're heading to our final pose here, Shavasana. If you need something else, if it's calling to you, go ahead and take that time to enter a twist or a figure four, pigeon. When you're ready, extend long for your Shavasana. Feeling length through the back of the neck and the skull. Taking one final deep inhale in. Exhale, let it out. And take this time to float. Returning to your body. Sinking deeper. Start to deepen your breath. Imagining your lungs could expand infinitely as you inhale. And exhale, completely relax as that air leaves your body. One more deep breath, inhale. Exhale, let it out. You can reach one arm overhead long, and then reach the other. Remembering that sensation of your body being spread. Feeling length through the spine. And exhale, relax. Bring one knee towards you and then the other. And make your way to a comfortable seat, keeping those eyes closed. Staying internal for just a moment here. When you reach that seat, you can bring your hands somewhere on your body. sense if you have more power, more energy in your spine. And remember, we can always come to the mat as a reminder of not only our physical power, but our mental power, our intention. Doing this practice on the mat and then carrying it with us out into the world to whomever we may meet. Thank you so much for your energy, your attention. Let's greet the new day with this power. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. I will stay on. If you've got questions, you can do it in the chat box, or we can talk face to face. But I'll stick around for a few minutes if you've got to go. Appreciate your time, your energy. Have a great week.